EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation. A EFF é uma das maiores e mais importantes organizações de defesa dos direitos civis da liberdade de expressão na era digital. A Running, além da EFF, ela também trabalha com vários outros comitês de defesa de direitos humanos. Em particular, ela ajudou a fundar a organização Defend Innovation. Você pode acessar em defendinnovation.org, que é uma organização que está discutindo a reforma das patentes. Tá? Então, aquela discussão que está fazendo aqui antes dela chegar, reforma de patentes, ela está discutindo tudo isso. A outra organização que ela fundou recentemente é a Freedom of the Press Foundation, que é uma organização que está patrocinando organizações de jornalismo no mundo inteiro, pessoas que estão fazendo jornalismo avançado. Certo? Então, com vocês, Ronnie Rickman.
In one piece, no assembly required. Okay? So we're exploiting this technology across the world. Here are some of the objects that you can make using 3D printing. This is a type of a fabric, almost like a chainmail type substance you can make with this. This is a guitar, which was shown at the last campus party. Every piece of this guitar, except for the strings, is 3D printed. Every piece of this, right? And these are the objects. If you see my belt here, I'm looking at this, see my belt? That's actually 3D printed. Right? So it comes, what they do is they lay this down one layer of plastic at a time and they fill it in with a sugary type substance and then they dissolve away the sugar. And that is made with a $1,000 printer.
About what this in this room means. Well, I'm going to try and give you my views on what this means. You're part of something that I call, this is all new by the way, called a global solution network. Now, what is a global solution network? Well, first of all, it has some combination of the 4 pillars of society. The 4 pillars: government and state, the private sector, the civil society, and the new 4th pillar, you, the individual. You can be a pillar of society. So 2 22-year-olds during the Haitian earthquake, they're living in Boston. They go onto the Ushahidi network and they find a little faint message in Creole coming from under the rubble of a shopping center. It's a 7-year-old girl and she's dying. They pick up her message. They translate it from Creole into French. They triangulate her location. They advise the authorities. They go in and they save her life. Those 2 young people in Boston were pillars of society solving a global problem, because the earthquake in Haiti wasn't just a local problem, it was a global problem. So that's number 1. It's a multi-stakeholder network. And it's not based on a nation state. That's our model up until now. Only states solve global problems. Number 2 is, it's beyond one nation, and it's addressing a problem that's global. Now, the network doesn't have to be global, but the problem has to be global. Unfortunately, most problems we have today are global, and this criteria doesn't exclude very many networks. Number 3, the network seeks to improve the state of the world by helping to solve a problem, develop new policies, new solutions, expose traditional organizations, even disrupt things, but they need to be contributing. So this is where anonymous becomes interesting. See, whether or not you're trying to solve a problem is in the eyes of the doer, not necessarily just the eyes of the beholder. But I think an anonymous is something that we can debate. But there are networks that I think we can exclude from being part of this. Al-Qaeda would be an example. I think by any reasonable person's assessment, Al-Qaeda is not trying to solve global problems. And the fourth thing is that this network uses the internet, and it uses the digital revolution. Now, it's a human network that we're talking about here, but it uses technology. Of course, as the net becomes ubiquitous and pervasive, most networks use this. The final thing is that this network harnesses the power of self-organization. It's not top-down, hierarchical, and based on a state. So I'll just tell you a story here. Now, this is a story about Barack Obama, and he's the state, okay? He's a government, but it helps me make my point about self-organization. It was about 5 or 6 years ago, and someone sent me an email saying, Don, you know this guy, Obama, he's running to get the American presidential nomination, and he thinks your book, Wikinomics, is the key to winning the presidency and transforming America. Do we have an issue? Are we good? Should I stop for a sec? Oh, you can't hear. Fala português? Oh, it's working again. Okay, good. Anyway, he says, this guy Obama thinks your book is the key to winning the presidency and changing America. Go to myBarackObama.com. So I went there, and there was my book right on the screen. It says, we believe in the principles of the internet, transparency, and inclusiveness. And he says, in the book, Wikinomics by Don Tapscott, he says, I'm asking you to believe not just in my ability to bring about real change in Washington, I'm asking you to believe in yours. And I went there and I looked at this and, well, my first reaction was, I am the man. But not so fast.
Era de 4.000, depois foi para 5.700 e depois aumentou para 8.000. Então o evento vai até domingo que vem. Nesse domingo, quer dizer, no caso. A gente já está na terça-feira. Barraca demais, né?
É barraca demais.